was a $1 bill and a $20 bill, and they were at the Treasury. They were getting ready to retire. And the $20 bill starts reminiscing about his travels. And he's like, oh, I've been to Atlantic City, and I've been to Vegas, and I've been to the finest restaurants and these wonderful plays, and just traveled all over. Well, the $1 bill is very excited. I've been to a lot of places too, and I've been to a lot of where they have a lot of food, and I think they call them potlucks. And I've been to a Methodist church, and I've been to a Unity Spiritual Center and a Baptist church, and all of a sudden the $20 bill interrupts him. He goes, what is a church? Thank you, thank you. The business of purpose. Yeah, a little financial humor with the business, you get the... Yeah, there's a joke. I want to tell you, so today's talk is the business of purpose, and I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I have always loved businesses. I started my career at Xerox as a systems analyst, and even then I wanted to start a business. At the age of about 27, I decided I wanted to open up a record store. I wrote a business plan, and I got a $50,000 loan from the bank, and I opened up a record store, which through situations got shut down about a year later. I did, though, pay the bank back. Not one to give up, though. In my 30s, I started a nanny referral agency. I sold that a few years later. My early 40s, I started a marketing company. Some of you are familiar with the industry. It was like Welcome Wagon, you know. For some reason, no one wants strangers to come walking up their door anymore and ask to be invited in. So that didn't go quite as well, but you know, that's life. You have the good and the bad. And I wouldn't say it was bad, but it was an experience. And then in my late 40s, I started a business brokerage company. And that's where I help businesses sell, or I help people buy their business. And I have been doing that ever since. And I think the reason I've stayed in this business is because it is so interesting learning about businesses and how they succeed and helping them sell. And so I still do that today. I love businesses. I love reading about businesses. Two books that I've just read are the Soul Source Entrepreneur by Christine Kane and John Jansky, who wrote The Commitment Engine. And these are books that you can read and never, ever be in business. They are so spiritually rich, and I would invite any of you to pick those up. They're really, really good books. Because business comes around in different facets. So today we are going to be talking about businesses. How many of you own your own business? All right. Okay. How many, so can you get the next slide? So I know we have some people here, and some people raise their hand. Jackie Lawson owns Lawson Business Services, and some of you use Donna Sanders, Dr. Donna Sanders with Bay Colony Chiropractic. And then we had Judy Hoggett. I received some wonderful cards from her, from Send Out Cards. And then we have Amy Hart-Grabluski, who owns Heart Training Connection. Don't you just love that name, Heart Training? I think all of us need a little heart training. So any of you that own businesses, and any of you out there on Facebook that own businesses, I invite you to, if you're here, to write down your business name and a phone number. And if you're out there on Facebook, write down your business and your phone number. And this coming Thursday in our email newsletter, we're going to publish all that for you. Because a little marketing, a little extra marketing is really nice, isn't it? So please feel free to message us or post what business you own. And how many of you work for another company? I mean, yeah, St. Thomas and Bayhart. So some of you work for another company. How many of you are retired? Yeah. How many of you might be looking for the perfect and right economic calling, what I call looking for work? Because we know that the perfect situation and opportunity is going to present themselves for you too. So whether you own your own business, whether you are retired, whether you're looking for employment, whatever arena that you're in, today I'm going to invite you into a new business. And that business, you are going to manufacture the product, you are going to market, you're going to fund the product, and you and the world are going to receive the return on investment. And the business is the business of purpose, the business of purpose. So what is your purpose? What is your purpose? I can tell you. Your purpose is making the world a better place. Your purpose is making each other's lives a better place. Your purpose is sharing that wonderful person you are with the world. Now, if our purpose is sharing ourselves and we're manufacturing the product, what are the tools that we are using? What are the tools we're using? We are using our individual self, and we're using our higher self, our spiritual self. In Unity, you often hear it called your Christ consciousness. So those are the tools we're using. And the foundation of our business is the 5 Unity principles. I love this. I made this up. I want you to go to the 5 Unity principles, and that is the office of your mind, the office of your mind. So let's go to the 5 Unity principles and build the tool. Now, how can we build this tool ourselves? Well, one of the first things that we want to do is take care of ourselves, don't we? We want to get enough sleep. We want to exercise. We want to eat healthy. We want to also be learning, constantly be growing and learning through books or classes or other people. And then the other thing that we want to do is we do not want to limit ourselves. We don't want to put limitations on ourselves. We don't want to accept the status quo that we cannot do something. And sometimes the limitation comes across that we're too young or too old. Now, here we're probably not having a problem being too young and not being able to do it. We might be having a problem sometimes going, I'm just too old. I'm just too old to do that. And so I want to tell you about a few people who didn't accept the status quo. We have Harriet Tubman, or not Harriet, Harriet Thompson. Harriet Thompson. Not Harriet Tubman. Although she didn't accept the status quo. We have Harriet Thompson, who began, well, she was a 2-time concert pianist. She played at Carnegie Hall. She played at Carnegie Hall twice. She was a 2-time cancer survivor. And she began running marathons at the age of 76. At the age of 90, she won the title, or she received the title of being the fastest woman of her age group. Okay. Now, I would expect a title just to be running a marathon at the age of 90. But no, they gave her that recognition. She went on to run another marathon at the age of 92. I guess she wasn't the fastest anymore. And then she ran a half a marathon at the age of 94. pretty good. Let me tell you a little bit about another amazing person, Nola Oakes. Nola Oakes took her first college course in 1930. She went on to graduate at the age of 95, becoming the oldest college graduate. Okay, now, it's not enough for this woman to graduate with a degree at 95 next to her 21-year-old granddaughter, who's also receiving a degree. And then she has a 3.7 GPA. Okay. No, she goes on at the age of 98 to get her master's degree because she wanted to tell people, she wanted to encourage people to keep learning. I think it encourages me. Doesn't it encourage you? Yeah. And then we have George Kirby, 103, and Doreen Kirby, who is 91. And they are in the Guinness Book of World Records as having the oldest combined age of 194 and being newlyweds. Because we know it's never too, you're never too old for romance, are you? So these are some people that are being all that they can be. And that's what this talk is about, how you can be all that you can be to serve the purpose of serving the world and making the world a better place. Now, I said that we're going to go to the what office of our mind? 5 unity principles, right? We're going to the office of our mind. So let's look at unity principle 2. Unity principle 2. Our essence is of God. Let's just stop there. Look at the person next to you. What is their essence? Of God. Look at in yourself. What is your essence? What is your essence? It is of God. Can you breathe that in? Your essence is of God. All things are possible with that essence. So let's finish the statement. Our essence is of God. Therefore, we are inherently good. This God essence was fully expressed in Jesus the Christ. So you have the power to share so much of yourself. So that is the tool. That is a tool, ourselves, and how we can grow and move, and how we can serve the world. So how do you want to serve the world? How do you, lots of us just serve the world all the time. Some people choose to serve the world in a big way, with a big cause, maybe working with 100 people, 200 people. Others serve the world in not what I would call small ways, but with less of an audience. Some of you serve the world, you serve unity, and you serve the world by being on the board. Others of you serve the world by teaching classes and helping. Some of you serve the world by painting beautiful words on our parking lot. Some of you serve the world in such a quiet way, like our prayer chaplains. They're there. And some of you serve the world and we'd never even really realize it. And it's done every single week. You serve the world like our AV team, who shows up every single week to let this message go out to the world. That is serving the world. And some of you serve the world. Some of you may not feel that, that this might be a stretch. But I feel that when you give to Unity Bay Area Houston, or you give to any unity, you are serving the world with your purpose. And why I say that is because when you give your donations, your tithes, your offerings, you are saying to the world, you are serving the world by saying, I know that there is one God, one presence, one power in this world, God the omnipotent. I know that I am the essence of God. I know that you are the essence of God. I know that I am a co-creator with God through my thoughts, words, and actions. And I know that through prayer, all things are possible. And when you give your donations to Unity, you are saying, I also strive to live these principles through walking, through actually the actions that I am doing. And so you might think that you're helping to pay the mortgage, pay the utility bills, or pay the staff salary, and you are. You are doing that, and you are doing much more. Because you are getting this unity message out, the truth principles that we know. And that is the basis and the foundation of the business of serving the world. And so I'm going to ask something specific for you too. Besides, thank you. Thank you for giving your donations. Thank you so much. Each of you out there on Facebook, thank you for all of your donations. Because you are serving the world. And now this week I'm going to ask you to serve the world and commit to something. We heard the word commitment, Katie. I'm going to ask you to go to the office of our mind. What's the office of our mind? 5 Unity Principles. I'm going to ask that each day you read the 5 Unity Principles, either in the morning or in the evening or both. How many of you will do that? Little peer pressure here. Who doesn't have their hand up? And you on Facebook, if you'll do that, will you just either message us or put it in a post that you'll commit to reading the 5 Unity Principles every day, either morning, night, in the middle of the day? That's the first thing. Now, the second thing I want you to do is I want you to serve the world. And you serve the world now, but I want you to do it intentionally on a daily basis. And what this might look like is picking up a piece of trash and making the world a better place. It might look like you see somebody in line at the grocery store and you know it'll cheer them up to let them go in front of you, as long as you keep your physical distance from them. But I want you to intentionally do something that makes the world a better place. It might be walking a dog, walking a neighbor's dog. It could be a million different ways. Because you are serving the world. Whether you're planting a tree, whether you're helping an animal, whether you're helping one person at a time, 10 people at a time, 500 people at the time. You are serving the world and making the world a better place and making each other a better place. Now, this is the third thing, and this is the most important thing I want you to do. I want you to thank yourself. I want you to thank yourself for that wonderful person that just did that. That person that is so loving and sharing their God essence. I want you to really take the time to appreciate who you are. And any time that you serve the world, it's going to come back to you 10 times. 10 times, I can promise you. It may not look like what you think it would look like, but it will come back to you. And you will receive the biggest return on investment if you do this. Because as you're sharing yourself with the world, the return on investment is that you will know who you are. Who are you? You are the essence of God. You will know that there is a God that is always around you, always loving, always abundant. You will know that. And you will know your essence, because I know who you are. I know that you are the essence of God. And the return on investment is that and much more, because as you serve the world will serve you. Blessings. Have a great week. Thank you.